Hey everyone, welcome back to another bonus episode of the Craft Parenting Podcast. Podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem. My name is Joe Ludwig, and with me is my lovely wife and co-host, Caroline. How's it going?
Santa has a lot of work to do.
Well,
So, yeah. Santa has a lot. Santa doesn't need to make any more toys, so that's good. But Santa has some work to do.
So we are on a journey this month.
Of self-discovery.
Yes. Self-discovery and beer, or supposed beer. We are going through the 2022 Higher Gravity Beervent calendar, and we are on day 23. And on this day, Higher Gravity gave to us a non-alcoholic beer by Untitled Art.
Which has led to some controversy in the beer group.
And I am not a fan. I think this is the one beer out of all the beers thus far that...
And wine. We had a wine.
That I am like, ugh. I don't like it.
I don't hate it.
But today, December 23rd, is apparently a fake holiday.
Festivus. A holiday for the rest of us.
And it is the day where you air your grievances.
Yep. A secular holiday celebrated on December 23rd as an alternative to the pressures and commercialism of the Christmas season. Originally created by author Daniel O'Keefe, Festivus entered popular culture after it was made the focus of the 1997 Seinfeld episode The Strike, which O'Keefe's son, Dan O'Keefe, co-wrote. The non-commercial holiday's celebration, as depicted on Seinfeld, occurs on December 23rd and includes a Festivus dinner, an unadorned aluminum Festivus pole, practices such as the airing of grievances and feats of strength, and the labeling of easily explainable events as Festivus miracles.
Mm-hmm.
The episode refers to it as a Festivus for the rest of us. It has been described both as a parody holiday festival and as a form of playful consumer resistance. Journalist Alan Salkin describes it as, quote, the perfect secular theme for an all-inclusive December gathering, end quote. The holiday, as portrayed in the Seinfeld episode, includes practices such as the airing of grievances, which occurs during the Festivus meal, and in which each person tells everyone else all the ways they have disappointed them over the past year.
Wow.
I mean, isn't that like every regular holiday gathering with your family?
What is the joke that Oscar the Grouch says in the modern Sesame Street Christmas? He celebrates Crankimus.
Yeah, Crankimus.
Where they gather and
just moan and eat terrible food.
And then one of the characters says, oh, how festive.
Yeah.
Makes me laugh every time.
So after the meal, the, quote, feats of strength are performed, involving wrestling the head of the household to the floor, with the holiday ending only if the head of the household is pinned. Okay, then.
I don't know what that means. I am not a Seinfeld geek. I think I've seen maybe 2 episodes, maybe.
I know of Festivus.
Yeah,
I forgot about the feats of strength aspect of it. I just remember the airing of grievances, which again is like every holiday event where your aunt judges you for all of the things you did or did not do over the past year.
Well, I have some grievances to air, Higher Gravity. This beer is awful. Probably because it is not a beer.
So, let's talk a little bit about the beer then. Cerveza Sun Nombre is a Mexican-style light beer, and it's by Untitled Art in Waunakee, Wisconsin. And it is 0.5% ABV. It is a non-alcoholic Mexican-style light brew with flaked corn, citra, and Amarillo hops.
I can taste the corn.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not like... I don't get what you're complaining about. I don't get what everybody's complaining about. It's not alcoholic, but it still tastes like beer. And, like, I remember in my beer tasting class, the first beer he had us try was O'Doul's. Because he was like, you're going to have an O'Doul's, and then you're going to have a Budweiser. And you're going to see how important alcohol is to the flavor of your beer. And I, like, this might be improved a little bit by adding, like, by actually having it be alcoholic.
O'Doul's is alcoholic. It's 0.5.
This is 0.5.
Yeah, it's exactly the same as O'Doul's as far as ABV.
Yeah, that's why I was using O'Doul's as an example. I don't, sure, you can make this be alcoholic, but I don't think it, needs to be alcoholic, like O'Doul's needed to be alcoholic for me to find it palatable. Also, everybody's liver needs a break. You're about to get real drunk on Christmas. I posted that in the beer group because somebody was complaining about how it's a non-alcoholic beer, and oh my goodness. And I was like, they're just thinking of your liver and trying to give it a rest before all the Christmas drinking. To which this dude responded, I have a wife. I don't need a second.
Yeah, and I unironically said that.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
But I'm like, out of all of the non-alcoholic beers, this is a good one. They could have given you something real shitty. And then as Julia says, because Julia's amazing, I think it's brilliant for Festivus Day. And Untitled Art beers, even the non-alcoholic ones, aren't cheap, so it is a true craft beer. Would you have been happier with the Smirnoff Ice or Coors instead? Part of the fun of the Beervent calendar is when they pick a day that fits the day's, quote, holiday. They nailed it with this one, and your complaint is proof. Not every day is for everybody, so if this is the only day that someone's been upset with so far, the box is still worth it, in my opinion.
Oh, I don't think it ruins the box. I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, and as somebody said somewhere, and now I don't remember where it was, there was some craft beer box that used all of their
It was Julia.
Was that Julia?
Yeah.
It was, but it was somewhere else.
I don't know. There's 50 beer groups, and I can't keep track.
Okay. So she heard a rumor that a certain bigger brewery that she is not fond of having multiples of one of their core beers in their calendars. She has no actual knowledge of if this is true or not, but if it is, that's just shameful. Which, Higher Gravity Beervent box, we have gotten a legit different beer every single day. And, they've all been decent to great. I would not say there are any duds in this box.
I would call this a dud. Literally a dud.
Well, air your grievances with it, Yosef.
I am airing my grievances. I think in order for it to be a beer, it has to have alcohol. I'm sorry.
It has 0.5%. That's something. About the brewery, because we skipped that part. Starting in 2016, we realized the beer category was stagnant. Fresh concepts and availability of innovation were hard to come by. With the industry changing, Untitled Art took up a crafting. We work with many artists to deliver Untitled Art. Liquid artists that brew fresh new flavors and create new innovative ideas that stimulate your taste buds. Visual artists that create our alluring label artwork on the can. Photography artists to capture the essence of our beverages. We team up with the niche breweries for creative collab limited beer releases. So I don't think that this is a limited beer release. But, it's Cerveza Sun Nombre. I think autocorrect gotcha.
Autocorrect?
Yeah, or you just typed it in wrong.
What did I type in?
You said Cerveza Sun Nombre, and it's Cerveza Sun Nombre.
I don't care. I'm done with this beer. I'm ready to move on.
Well, have a Merry Festivus, and
my grievances have been aired. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Craft Parenting Podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem. My name is Joe Ludwig, and with me is Caroline once again, and we are going to talk about the Higher Gravity Beervent calendar, day 24.
There's only one more sleep till Christmas.
Well, when this airs, there will be. I think this will air on Christmas.
Well, there's still a Christmas beer.
We're a day behind, though.
This is true.
So the Christmas beer episode will air on the 26th. Unless I decide to do something crazy. I don't know.
We'll see.
But we have a actual beer with actual alcohol.
From a nano brewery.
So this is Prodigious.
Prodigious? At first I thought it was Prodigy, so I'd say Prodigious.
It's an Imperial coffee brown ale. It is 9.2% alcohol. And it is brewed and canned by 6 Sense Brewing Company, which is based out of Jackson, Ohio.
So they were established in 2017. They are a nano brewery and tap room located in Jackson, Ohio, specializing in craft beer and crafted cocktails. And the city of Jackson, according to Lay Google, has a population between like slightly under 3,000 people. So there's not like a ton of people that live there. But it's 27 miles southeast of Chillicothe.
And Chillicothe is like 27 miles southeast of Columbus.
Yeah. So it's like 50-ish miles southeast of Columbus.
It is middle of nowhere, Ohio. Very small town. I wouldn't even consider that a city necessarily.
And like on the can, they say a sensory experience crafted from small town roots.
I believe Wikipedia said that Jackson was a old steel.
Yes.
Like they were known for steel.
Yes, they were very big in steel production before 1900.
So, back in the day when industry built the towns and then the industry moved out, I guess that's very similar to Jackson.
Yeah.
I guess the industry moved out, so all the people moved out.
That's usually what happens.
I've never heard of this brewery before, though, so I'm excited to try it. It is very black in color.
It's near Winchester. What?
It's near Winchester.
That can't be right. That's 35. That's not 32.
I don't know what you're on. But this is the beer itself is black in color. It's not see-through at all. It has a big, foamy, thick head. Even though I tilted the glass. They collaborated with a coffee shop called The Spot on Main, which I'm assuming is on Main Street.
Mm-hmm. Which the number one street name in the United States is, that's right, 2nd Street.
2nd Street?
Followed by Main Street.
Really?
Yes.
Not even 1st Street?
No, because some people use Main Street instead of 1st Street.
But everyone uses...
But, like, everybody uses a 2nd Street. It's very confusing and really hilarious, especially when you see it all written down.
Is this a Reddit post?
It was a TikTok that I might have seen on Reddit, or maybe I saw it on Facebook. I don't know. So, Prodigious is a big beer with a big blast of coffee and vanilla thanks to our friends at The Spot on Main. Sometimes we all think about drinking in the morning, and this beer makes that dream a reality.
I get a lot of coffee.
I do too. Sometimes I can get the vanilla.
Yeah, it's very overpowering coffee. And then the vanilla smooths it out at the end. Mm-hmm. But the bitterness, it's definitely a coffee beer. It's very in-your-face coffee beer. I think we had a coffee beer earlier this month.
We did. We had one from Esoteric, which is another small brewery.
I don't know if they're a nano brewery, though. But, because that's a very specific name, nano brewery.
Mm-hmm.
Title or whatever. But I think that it was, we've only had one other, but the previous one, I remember that saying that, that wasn't in your face coffee. But this one by by 6 Sense Brewing Company, it's definitely in your face.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad thing. I wouldn't call that a criticism, but
it's still not like super overpowering. Like I can taste more than just coffee after I'm done with the beer. Like some other coffee beers, all I get is coffee. Like, ever.
Yeah, I can't really taste the vanilla, but I know it's there, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at the back end, I can kind of tell that it's a little bit of it, that it's there. But other than that, I get a lot of coffee. That's like pretty much all I get. And I really like coffee, so I'm not complaining at all about that.
No. Santa's little elves need this beer so they can stay awake longer to wrap more presents. Yeah,
this is a dramatic change of pace from yesterday's beer.
A little bit.
Or day 23's beer, which was a non-alcoholic beer. It's a very dramatic difference, for sure. Anything else you want to say about this beer?
So I think Jackson Brewing Sixth Sense Brewing in Jackson, Ohio, probably has a mildly close relationship with the Spot on Main because they were both established in 2017. And the Spot on Main gets their beans from Silverbridge Coffee Company, a local roaster, and they get milk products from Snowville Creamery, a local dairy. So they do everything super small, local, which I think is awesome. Support where you live.
I mean, they're a small town.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So both these spots opened in 2017, you said?
Yep.
Well, that's really cool. I'm very happy that, Higher Gravity was able to find them. Because I have never heard of Sixth Sense or Jackson, Ohio.
I think they can be on the way to Athens if you take 124. I am still confused about how there's 2 Winchesters in Ohio and how that can be a thing. But you do you, Ohio. Or I guess that is 32. So it's just further down 32 than the Winchester that we know and Peebles. You just keep going.
Yeah. I mean, Athens is off of 32. I mean,
yes.
You take
so
32.
You can so it's on the way to Athens if you take 32 from Cincinnati to get to Athens. So you can maybe make a trip of it. Like if you're going to go out to Athens, maybe stop at Sixth Sense as well on your way there or your way back.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to see what day 25 holds.
Yeah, whether it'll be a good Christmas present or whether we were all bad and got a lump of coal.
I hope to God it is not another non-alcoholic beer.
I doubt it'll be a non-alcoholic beer. I haven't really thought of anything in here as being a joke. They wouldn't ice us on Christmas, would they? That'd just be mean.
I could spoil the surprise right now.
No, it's a surprise. We're going to open it up Christmas morning, and we're going to podcast while the kids are playing with their presents on the floor.
Oh, that'll go real well.
It'll be so easy to understand that we won't have to re-record it and re-release it.
Uh-huh. I mean, we're doing this on my phone. That's bad enough.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to say about Sixth Sense?
Prodigious Imperial Coffee Brown Ale.
Yes.
It's really yummy. I would like more of it. Maybe we'll get more of it. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, you can drive all the way out there. I'm sure Higher Gravity might have some.
I don't know. If they're nano, I don't know how much they can. But, so far, we've had 4 or 5 cans that have called out specifically Higher Gravity on their can art, and this can does not do that. So they might actually can this on a semi-regular basis. So maybe we can find it there.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's possible.
All right.
So
that's part 2, right?
Yep.
So if you like what you heard, you can
follow, share,
subscribe, share, help us grow. Leave a 5-star rating and review. I think I forgot to say that the other day.
On Apple Podcast or your podcatcher of choice.
I'm at Craft Parenting Joe on Instagram. And
I'm at Caroline Creates Crafts. We have a Buy Me a Coffee by Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Woohoo!
Yeah, we'll be back for day 25. Bye.
Bye. So it's the Cerveza Sun Nombre. Ah!
God. We're under attack. I thought you turned it down.
My phone is on silent. Like, the little orange thing is there. It's not supposed to be making any noise. Don't drive on northbound 71 in Kentucky right now, because apparently it is a wreck.
I am not in Kentucky.
We are way north of that. We're not entering that whole mess. So,
Grievances.
the beer.